Dear learners, how are you? Welcome to my another class. It's a great pleasure to have another class with you. This is Anwar Parvez, Assistant Teacher, English, Bazar Government High School, Chunarugat, Hobiganj. Dear students, in my today's class, I am going to discuss about changing assertive sentence to interrogative sentence. So let's begin our class. Dear students, first of all, we have to know what is assertive sentence and what is an interrogative sentence. Okay, first of all, assertive sentence. Actually, assertive sentence denotes all the statements describing incident, feeling, opinion, history, etc. And interrogative sentence actually asks a question. So assertive sentence, there is another name, statement sentence. Okay, interrogative sentence, question. Now let's have an example of assertive sentence. Okay, the girl is going to school. Okay, so assertive sentence starts with subject, then verb, then extension or object. So it's very important that assertive sentence always begins with subject. Okay, and interrogative, as it asks a question, so definitely there will be a question mark after this sentence. So how this sentence is formed? First of all, is he going to school? So in question sentence or interrogative sentence, there will be auxiliary verb before subject. So the sentence starts with auxiliary verb. And another way, WH word. A question sentence starts with WH word, then auxiliary verb, then subject. So most important thing is in question sentence there is auxiliary verb before the subject. Okay, and in assertive sentence the sentence starts with subject, then verb, auxiliary verb, main verb will be after the subject. Okay, so this is the basic difference of assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. Now let us discuss how to change an assertive sentence to interrogative sentence. Okay, look at this board. I have given a chart of the rules. These are the highlights of all rules in this chart. So I will discuss step by step all these rules. Okay, first of all, look at the rule 1. Here I have written that if an assertive sentence is affirmative form, it will be negative in interrogative sentence. If an assertive sentence in negative form, it will be affirmative form in interrogative sentence. Okay, so how? First of all, using auxiliary. Verb. Okay, if we want to make assertive sentence into interrogative sentence, as I have discussed the definition of assertive sentence and interrogative sentence, that assertive sentence starts with subject and interrogative sentence starts with auxiliary verb or WH word. So first rule, I have to make an assertive sentence to interrogative sentence by using auxiliary verb. Okay, how? For example, assertive sentence, the girl is going to school. Okay, so look at the sentence, subject, auxiliary verb. Okay, if in assertive sentence there is auxiliary verb, then to make it an interrogative sentence, the auxiliary verb will be written before the subject. And another thing, as I told, in assertive sentence in affirmative form, the interrogative sentence will be in negative form. So look at the sentence. This sentence is affirmative sentence of assertive sentence. So this will be in negative notion in interrogative sentence, and the auxiliary verb will be written before the subject. So is, then negative notion. The negative notion will be contracted form, an apostrophe T, then subject, the girl, then verb, main verb, going to school, then interrogative mark. Okay, so the auxiliary verb is written before the subject. Another example, I have bought a ticket. Okay, here is auxiliary verb have, it will be written before the subject. Okay, have. As it is affirmative sentence, in interrogative sentence it will be negative, so negative notion, haven't, then subject, verb, then extension or object, question mark. So using auxiliary verb, that means if in affirmative sentence there is auxiliary verb, then this auxiliary verb will be written before the subject, and if the sentence is affirmative form, in interrogative sentence this sentence will be in negative form. Okay, then another example, they were not waiting for us. This is assertive sentence and this sentence is in negative form. So if assertive sentence in negative form, in interrogative it will be in affirmative form, and the auxiliary verb will be before the subject. Okay, where, so the interrogative sentence will be in affirmative form, so where the subject, then where they, then verb, waiting for us, interrogative marks. Okay, another example, we cannot beat you. So here is, it is a negative form, then interrogative sentence will be affirmative form and auxiliary verb will be before the subject. So can we, the verb, you, interrogative mark. Okay, so what we have seen, if in affirmative sentence there is auxiliary verb, assertive sentence there is auxiliary verb, the auxiliary verb will be before the subject in interrogative sentence, and if the assertive sentence is in affirmative form, the interrogative sentence will be negative form, and if the assertive sentence in negative form, the interrogative sentence will be affirmative form. Okay, so if there is no auxiliary verb in assertive sentence, how can we make the assertive sentence into interrogative sentence? Okay, I have said in when I discussed the affirmative to negative that if there is no auxiliary verb in affirmative sentence, there will be do, does, did according to tense as auxiliary verb. So if we want to make an assertive sentence into interrogative sentence, and in assertive sentence if there is no auxiliary verb, then according to tense we have to bring do, does and did to make it interrogative sentence. Okay, in present indefinite tense there will be do and does, and in past indefinite tense there will be did. So let's have an example. We love our parents. So look at the sentence. In this sentence, in assertive sentence, there is no auxiliary verb. So we have to bring auxiliary verb to make it interrogative sentence, as we have to write an auxiliary verb before the subject. So as there is no auxiliary verb, we have to bring do, does or did, and it is, look at the sentence, it is present indefinite tense. So in this sentence there will be do or does. So what will be there? As the subject is we, first person, then the auxiliary verb will be do. So use do here. And another thing, it's an affirmative sentence, that's why in interrogative sentence it will be negative notion. So for this reason, don't, then the subject, don't we, then verb, love our parents. Okay, question mark. And another sentence. They left the village. So there is no auxiliary verb also, and if we want to make it interrogative sentence, we have to bring auxiliary verb. And look at the tense of the sentence. It is in past indefinite tense, and in past indefinite tense there will be auxiliary verb did, and as it is affirmative sentence, in interrogative sentence it will be negative form. So bring did as auxiliary verb, then negative didn't, the subject, then verb, leave the village, question mark. Okay, why leave is here, there is left. So remember that after do, does, did, there will be verb in base form, main verb will be in base form. Okay, so in first rule we have discussed about making assertive sentence into interrogative sentence using auxiliary verb. So I have revised for your better understanding. Let me revise it. If there is auxiliary verb in assertive sentence, you have to write the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence before subject to make it interrogative sentence. And if there is no auxiliary verb in assertive sentence, you have to bring do, does, did as auxiliary verb. In present indefinite tense you have to bring do, does, and in past indefinite tense you have to bring did as auxiliary verb. And if the assertive sentence in affirmative form, it will be negative in interrogative sentence, and if the assertive sentence in negative form, it will be affirmative in interrogative sentence. Okay, so I hope you have understood the first rule. Then move to second one. Okay, the second rule. If in an assertive sentence there is no, in interrogative sentence there will be any instead of no. For example, there was nothing to do. Okay, if you want to make it interrogative sentence, the auxiliary verb will be before the subject. Okay, was, then subject was there, instead of no there will be any. Okay, was there any, then thing to do. So in assertive sentence no, in interrogative sentence there will be any instead of no, and the auxiliary verb will be before the subject. Another example, there is no use of money. Okay, then interrogative, the auxiliary verb is there, instead of no there will be any, is there any use of money, then interrogative marks. Okay, then third rule, in an assertive sentence there is never, in interrogative sentence we have to write ever instead of never. For example, I shall never go there. Okay, then never here, it will be ever in interrogative sentence. So shall, auxiliary verb before the subject, shall I, then never instead of never write ever, shall I ever go there, interrogative marks. Okay, then I never visited the zoo. Okay, look at this sentence. In this sentence there is no auxiliary verb, and this sentence is in past indefinite tense. For this reason there will be did as auxiliary verb. So write did, then subject did I, never will be ever, did I ever, then verb in base form, did I ever visit the zoo, then interrogative marks. Okay, so in third rule, if in assertive sentence there is never, in interrogative sentence we have to write ever instead of never. Okay, and in fourth rule, if in assertive sentence there is everybody, all, everyone, and in interrogative sentence we have to write who instead of everybody, all, or everyone, then the sentence will be in negative form. Okay, look at the example. Everybody wants to be happy. So in assertive sentence there is everybody as subject. So in interrogative sentence, instead of everybody we have to write who, then write who, then the sentence will be negative form. So if we want to make it negative, then we have to bring auxiliary verb and not. So in this sentence there is no auxiliary verb, and this sentence is in present indefinite tense. That's why we have to bring do or does. Who, as everybody is in singular form, so who will be regarded as singular subject, then we have to write does. So who does, then negative form, who does not, then want to be happy, question mark. So okay, another example. Everyone wishes to be successful. So instead of everyone, write who. Then as present indefinite tense, there will be auxiliary verb do or does. Here for singular subject there will be does, negative form, does not, who does not, then wish to be successful. Interrogative marks. Okay, so dear learners, in rule 4 we have seen that in assertive sentence everybody, all, everyone, there will be who instead of these things in interrogative sentence, and the sentence will be negative form. Okay, then next rule. If in assertive sentence there is nobody, none, and no one as subject, in interrogative sentence you have to write who instead of this one, the nobody, none, or no one, and the rest of the sentence will be same in interrogative sentence. Okay, for example, nobody believes a liar. Okay, so instead of nobody just write who, and the rest of the sentence will be same. Who believes a liar. Okay, none likes a liar. Okay, here none, instead of none write who, then rest of the sentence will be same. You need not change anything of this sentence. Okay, so dear learners, if in assertive sentence there is nobody, none, and no one as subject, then in interrogative sentence we have to write who, and rest of the sentence will be remain same as it is in the assertive sentence. Okay, sorry, there will be auxiliary question mark in interrogative sentence. Remember to write question mark in interrogative sentence, otherwise this sentence will be wrong. Okay, okay, then rule 6. If there is every then plus noun, if in assertive sentence there is every and the next word is a noun, then in interrogative sentence we have to use is there any instead of every, then there will be noun and who, and the sentence will be in negative form. Okay, if I give an example it will be clear to you. For example, every mother loves her child. Okay, so every plus noun, there is every then noun. So in assertive sentence there is every and noun. The in interrogative sentence you have to write is there any instead of every. Okay, write it, is there any, then noun. Okay, this noun, is there any mother, then who. Okay, who, then the sentence will be in negative form. So the negative form of this sentence will be loves present indefinite tense, then the auxiliary verb do or does as the mother here subject, then it will be does. So is there any mother who does, then negative form who does not love her child. Okay, dear learners, look at the sentence. Every plus noun, then is there any instead of every in interrogative sentence, then noun, then who, then the sentence will be in negative form. Okay, so rule 7, if in assertive sentence there is everything as subject, then in interrogative sentence we have to write what instead of everything, and the sentence will be in negative form in interrogative sentence. For example, everything is possible. Okay, so everything, instead of everything write what, then the sentence will be negative form, as it there is auxiliary verb what is negative, what is not possible. Okay, question marks. Another example, everything seems to be perfect. Okay, then interrogative sentence, instead of everything write what, then will be negative form, present indefinite tense, write does, what will be regarded as singular form, so what does, then not, what does not seem to be perfect, interrogative marks. Okay, so dear learners, in assertive sentence everything, in interrogative sentence there will be what, and the sentence will be in negative form. Okay, so last rule, if in assertive sentence there is nothing as subject, and instead of nothing we will use what, then rest of the sentence will be same. Okay, for example, nothing can happen. So nothing here is subject, then instead of nothing write what, then rest of the sentence will remain same, what can happen. Okay, so dear learners, in my today's class I have discussed how to make an assertive sentence to an interrogative sentence by following these charts, and these rules are discussed with examples in front of you. And if you want to make an interrogative sentence into assertive sentence, don't worry, just follow these reverse rules and you can make interrogative sentence into assertive sentence. Okay, dear learners, I hope you have enjoyed the class and you have noted all the rules and examples. and you just if you can easily you want to easily understand the assertive sentence in the interrogative sentence or interrogative sentence into assertive sentence, follow this structure, follow this chart, and by this chart you practice yourself at home. Okay, so I hope we will see you in the next class. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Stay safe and sound.